Today, let's take a look at the Winter Waite, or here in the South, I say the Winter Waite. But this is the Santa's Helper deck. Now, this deck is absolutely based on the classic Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck, and all of the images from it are inspired by the artwork on that deck. So you will see some very familiar cards throughout this entire deck, and one of the reasons why I love it is because I find that the reimagining of these classical cards in the kind of Yuletide theme is just super fun. This deck comes in just a real simple box. I believe when I ordered it, it also came with a really cute little bag to store the cards in, which I love. There's not really a book with it, but I feel like if you're working with this one, you're probably pretty familiar with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, so you don't really need it. The cards are glassy and they're nice and thick, and strong. And the background is just a real simple kind of candy cane stripe, which makes it easy for reading reversals or right side up without any trouble. And you can see that nice gloss on the card. They're standard deck size, maybe a little bit bigger, and they're very easy to shuffle through. They move with ease, and the colors are super vibrant and they really pop. Let's take a look at some of the cards in the deck and see how it's been transformed into holiday fun. So first off, almost all of the horses in the deck are reindeer, of course, because what else says holidays and Yuletime like a reindeer? So here is the Knight of Cups. You can see that the artwork is pretty much the classic Knight of Cups art, except now we have a winter scene and our knight looks like an elf, and they are riding the reindeer. We see the same sort of thing here in the sun. Instead of a horse, the child, like almost, it reminds me a little bit of kind of like the New Year baby is on a deer, and like the reindeer that had the antlers in the Knight of Cups, this is a more of like a fawn look. So really a lot of thought went into these to carry on a lot of the same symbolism, but to make it more appropriate for the Yule theme. And I love when artists do that. Here's another great example. We've got the world, it says happy holidays on it. We've got this beautiful angelic like elven being with the holly wreath behind them. Super lovely. And again, the colors are just so bright and so vivid. Then you'll see in a lot of our majors similar artwork. So here's the Empress. So we've got the Divine Feminine reclining in a chair with some woodland creatures. There are a couple of her traditional symbols like the scepter. We've got the Magician right here. He looks like he is going to make some magic happen. And of course he's got the four suits of this deck, which are a holly adorned goblet, a peppermint, an icicle, and like a peppermint round, and then a peppermint wand as well. So he is in the traditional position of the Magician. He's got the wand in his hand. One hand points to the sky, the other to the earth, that really indicates the transmutation of energy with those four suits. So again, if you know your Rider-Waite-Smith deck, I think this is an amazing deck because you can pull this out holiday time, and I think it would really be a big hit. Some of the cards are a little bit different though. So here's the High Priestess. It is very similar, but here you'll notice we don't have the columns, we don't have the pomegranates and some of the other things that you would traditionally see with her, but I feel like it still really conveys the High Priestess energy quite nicely. Looking at those suits, just to give you kind of another glimpse, so here's your peppermints for pentacles. This really looks like the classic Eight of Pentacles. We've got the Two of Cups here, and I love they're under the mistletoe. That is awesome, really conveying that love that we see with the Two of Cups. Here we have the Nine of Icicles, and everything just feels so frozen, and really, for me, this really conveys that air elemental energy, even though we're talking about like ice here, which could be conveyed with water or confluted with water. I still feel that like that cold, icy wind. I still feel that cold, icy wind. And then here we have the 10 of Wands. Again, very much a classic interpretation of this card with that peppermint. So we'll just do a quick little flip through here to give you an idea of some of the other cards. There's the Fool, again, on the cliff with the dog and that carefree energy. Lots of winter symbolism there, but also harkening back to the original Rider-Waite-Smith, where we've got our Queen of Wands, she's got her cat and her sunflower, but I love the kind of massive fairy queen energy here. There's our 8 of Swords, in this case icicles, our 6 of Cups overflowing. And again, this is such a nice nod, right? So we have the flowers like we normally have, but instead of them being sunflowers, they're poinsettias, which works in so well with that holiday theme. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. There we go. There's the Wheel of Fortune with like all the different amazing things that can come from the holidays. Again, really iconic images from holiday time, like the gingerbread and cardinal. Here's our Moon. Knight of Pentacles, again, riding that reindeer. And the kings and queens are very similar as well. They take very similar positions that they would have in the standard Rider-Waite. You can see the Queen of Swords faces forward, the Queen of Cups faces away, just like they normally do. The 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. And actually, let's go back to this one. You know, one of the things I did notice about this deck is this feels a lot more lighthearted. So the 10 of Swords is, or 10 of Icicles in this case, is a lot, and the 5, some of these heavier, kind of more serious cards, more intense cards. The energy for this, for me, feels a little bit more hopeful and a little bit more lighthearted than in some other decks, even though it is still the Rider-Waite. There's your Knight of Swords rushing into action on their reindeer. Some more Wands, our King of Pentacles, Death. Now, this is one of the few where they are still on a horse. And I love the fact that they kept the horse. Very much, you know, Death rides on a pale horse, and this one is very much in keeping with the traditional Rider-Waite imagery. It works. There's our Chariot being pulled. I feel like this is Saint Nick or Santa being pulled in the sleigh. And there's the Tower, iced over. So even in things like this, they really did an incredible job, I think, of capturing the spirit and the imagery of the traditional deck while making it really resonate with the Yuletide theme. So if you're looking for a deck that might be fun to read for yourself or others at Yuletide, I highly recommend this deck. It's really strong, it's well constructed, the colors are just beautiful, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with it too.